I'm Juliette Foster and this is our first Davos Daily, a roundup of the news and insights on the hot topics here at the World Economic Forum, brought to you by PwC. The main theme of this year's meeting is Globalisation 4.0. It's a new wave of transformation that embraces equality as well as economic growth. What's more, it may already be upon us. So what is Globalisation 4.0 and are we ready for the change?
It's the combination of bringing humanity and technology together and thinking through what kind of disruptive factors will actually impact the economy as we look ahead. There's an element of globalization because technology knows no borders, data knows no borders. So I think there's also an implicit message here in terms of the degree of nationalism and populism that's out there and the silos that have been created. How do we actually bring that together? Because no one country, business or otherwise, can actually solve the problems that we're facing going forward.
How do you think that business leaders should be preparing for it?
So to me, they actually need to be open-minded in terms of the world of possibilities. And they need to be very much engaging with their own employees, their consumers, but also the communities and the countries they're operating in. So an open dialogue becomes extremely important. Second is they got to be a sponge for knowledge. There's a lot happening that they don't know, so they need to be better educated of the world of possibilities. And third is they've got to drive the change. They themselves have to be change agents to actually say, what can we do to execute better? And to make sure it's done in an inclusive way so all benefits, as opposed to just investors, employees, or consumers.
PwC's Global Chairman Bob Moritz there. Well, earlier I spoke to Sadia Zahidi from the WEF, and I began by asking her to define Globalisation 4.0.
It's this confluence of different factors coming together. The fourth industrial revolution, geopolitical change, climate change, and most importantly, inequality and social cohesion, which is really something that we need to start taking more seriously. So how are these four forces likely to affect globalization, and how can we today start influencing what Globalization 4.0 should look like?
Okay, so with things like this, there will always be winners, but who are going to be the losers?
I think we've already seen some of that disruption happen. There are people who have been disrupted out of their jobs, either because those jobs have moved elsewhere, or they've been disrupted because those jobs no longer exist, because technology is now performing those tasks better than they ever could. So we need to take that into account, and start thinking about not just the lower skilled workers that have already been disrupted, but the next wave of disruption that's about to hit the middle skilled workers, particularly those in the service industry. What we truly need is a reskilling revolution.
Sadia Zahidi, thank you so much for joining us here at Davos. In other news, the broadcaster and environmentalist Sir David Attenborough, the music conductor Marin Alsop and the filmmaker Haifa Al-Mansour have been named as this year's Crystal Award recipients. In his acceptance speech, Attenborough warned the audience, what we do in the next few years will profoundly affect the next few thousand years. Some of the biggest names, such as Presidents Trump and Macron, are not here this year, but we do have a member of the British royal family in attendance. The Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, will be talking about mental health in the workplace. And our prize picture of the day goes to these snazzy socks. If any of you have spotted the wearer, then do send us a message on Facebook and tell us who you think it is. Every day we're going to have a stat, a fact or a number for you, and today's number is 11,136. That's the population of Davos. Now, during the forum, the population swells by nearly 3 times that number to around 30,000. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow for another Davos Daily.